Good afternoon. Jordan Sheridan live from the mothership. Status quo in the house. I am delighted to tell you, I just started eating blueberries. What a treat. I love blueberries. Sorry, one more. Sorry I'm a little late. Had a lot going on today. Happy Father's Day belatedly to all you fathers. We were not live yesterday for our marathon live stream. I was spending the day with my Trump-supporting father, Larry Sheridan. He's a good man. He's a little ignorant as far as politics, but a good man. So I had a nice day with him and my brothers and my nephew, and I hope everyone also had a good day with your father if you still have one. A lot going on in the news. And also, oh my God. The amount of stupidity that I am seeing in the corporate media between, beating the drums for war with Iran to, Mayor Pete, that man, that handsome, wonderful man, Mayor Pete. Isn't he the new shiny object? To Kamala for the people, Harris. To Mr. Electable, Joe Biden. Makes me sick. It makes me sick. And I'm not going to be live as long as I usually am today because I'm going to Ron Placone and Graham Elwood. They're doing a comedy act in New York City tonight. So they invited me. I got to be there by like 6:45, 7 o'clock. So I'm going to have to lickety-split get through this. You know the checklist. I need all of you to smash that like button. If you are watching on your phone, I need you to X out of the live chat on your phone and smash the thumbs up button. I want you to smash that like button like it's Joe Biden inviting you to his Wall Street fundraiser tonight with some of the scummiest people on earth drinking champagne and caviar. I want you to smash that like button like it's Mayor Pete Buttigieg inviting you to his exclusive fundraiser with the Blackstone private equity firm. I'd like you to smash that like button like it's Kamala for the People Harris marching with fast food workers right after she's taking selfies with the managing director of Citigroup, atop that managing director of Citigroup's penthouse suite in Manhattan. Ugh, the corporate greed and hypocrisy of these Fauxgressives. The Fauxgressives. I need you to smash the like button. I also need you to become a member to Status Coup. We are now at, let me get it. Where is that member meter? Oh, did I delete it? Oh, darn it. Hold on. Member. Screen's going to go black. Member. Meter. Pumpkin eater. We are now at 474 Status Coup members. That is on pace. We are on pace to hit our goal of 500 by the end of June. So for those of you on the fence, we're going to have to talk about that a little bit later because we need to get up to 500 and we need to get up to 500 right now. StatusCout.com says join, become a Status Coup member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. $5 to $10 a month can give you the journalism that the corporate media covers up. $5 to $10 a month or $179 annually can provide the in-the-field reporting that the corporate media will never, ever do. And frankly, not many independent outlets doing it anymore. Follow us at Status Coup on the Twitter. I'm at Jordan Chariton. Subscribe to our podcast. That's bit.ly/Status Coup podcast. And go to statuscoup.com. Enter your email. The more people on our email list, the faster we grow. So, you ever see Wedding Crashers where Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, they crash weddings? Well, I am trying. Jen's looking for the address. I'm thinking about crashing some New York City fundraisers this week. Are you with me? I'm thinking about crashing some New York City fundraisers with Mr. Electable Joe Biden drinking champagne and eating caviar with the who's who of Wall Street, with Kamala Harris, Miss for the People. She's hanging out with the who's who of Wall Street. You got America's new mayor, Pete Buttigieg. He's hanging out with private equity. Everybody's coming to Manhattan this week because they're all progressive in their speeches, but like the usual suspects, they're basically servants at night where they're trying to cash those checks from Wall Street. So, the New York Times, and remember, if you haven't pressed that like button, what are you doing? I need you all to press that like button. We got 90 people watching, 65 likes. So we got 93 watching, 65 likes. So I need all of you, press that like button. Don't get arrested, Jordan. Well, if I do, I hope there's a super chat fund to get me out. This is a super chat. Oh, and I would be remiss to not mention, we are at 58,602 bones. $58,602 on our GoFundMe. Thank you, Cheryl Tyler. $30 in the GoFundMe. By the way, folks, I'm going to tell you about this more later, but we are headed to Miami next week for the first debate. We don't really have the money for it, but we're going to do it anyway, and hope for the best. So Ty and I will be down there in Miami. Hopefully, we have not gotten approved yet for DNC debate credentials. We'll see if the DNC approves us. Credentials allow you in the building. They allow you after the debates in what they call the spin room. That's where I was able to nicely confront Donna Brazile a couple years ago, and that's where I will very, very nicely confront Joe Biden's people, Kamala Harris's people, Mayor Pete's people, and all the usual suspects. So definitely hit that GoFundMe. Help us cover the costs. Just Ty's flight alone from Miami from LA to Miami cost us like $550, $600. not to mention my flight, and then you got food and Airbnb and it's a rent-a-car. It's going to be very expensive. Jen and I had a debate. Should we do it? Because we don't really have the money to do it. But I just thought, and we came to the decision together that it's important to be down there for the first debate, particularly now that Bernie's going to be on the same debate stage with the three biggest corporate hacks, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Mayor Pete. So we will be down there in Miami. I will be schwitzing. Thank you, Kelly Elaine. Just GoFundMe. Keep it coming if you can. Either membership or GoFundMe or both. But we're not telling you what we're going to do. We are showing you what we're going to do. We also have new reporting from our new reporter, Marcus Ely. I'll be showing you that today. So all these people that are talking about how Trump is the Antichrist and Trump is against our values. Oh boy, are they coming to Wall Street. They are coming, and they are coming fast. With millions of dollars on the line, top New York donors are already beginning to pick favorites, and three candidates are generating most of the buzz. Former Vice President Joseph Biden, Senator Kamala Harris, and Mayor Pete Buttigieg of South Bend, Indiana. It is, at first blush, an unusual grouping, considering that the mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, who has pretty much one voter so far, his wife, the state's junior senator, Kirsten Gillibrand, and a neighboring senator with deep ties to New York's elite, Cory Booker, are all in the race and vying for their money. Interviews with 24 top contributors, fundraisers, and political advisors on Wall Street and beyond revealed that while many are still hedging their bets, those who care most about picking a winner are gravitating towards Mr. Biden and Miss Harris, while donors are swooning over Mr. Buttigieg enough to open their wallets and bundling networks for him. These dynamics raise the prospect of growing financial advantages for some candidates and closed doors for others. So, before I even get to who they're raising money from, I want to make a point. Michael Cooper, is this a super chat? You're damn right it is. Thank you, Michael. $2 in the super chat. This is a super chat, so keep it coming. Haven't we been down this road already with these Fauxgressives who, have nice slogans, stronger together, while having, backroom chats with Wall Street fat cats? Kamala Harris, how transparently corrupt can you be for your campaign slogan to be for the people, while you just did a fundraiser with a Citigroup managing director atop their penthouse on Fifth Avenue. That is prime real estate in New York City, folks. I think she took a selfie with the managing director of Citigroup's puppy, I believe. What kind of people are you for that you're hanging out at the penthouse suite for the managing director of Citigroup? You got Joe Biden, apparently. I don't know his official campaign slogan, but his slogan is "Make America America Again," meaning let's go back to just taking Wall Street's money, but I won't tweet crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. I say stuff because I don't want to be demonetized. And Mayor Pete Buttigieg, listen, I'm all for a gay president, but take out his sexuality because I don't really care. Have you ever seen a more empty vessel than Mayor Pete Buttigieg from South Bend, Indiana? By the way, go talk to the working people of South Bend, Indiana. Go talk to the African Americans in South Bend, Indiana. Ask them what Mayor Pete has done for them. A whole lot of nothing. He has gentrified downtown and left the rest of the city to rot. But this man, with pretty much no qualifications to be president, I'm not against somebody who's a small town mayor running for office, but come on. Come on, folks. I'm more qualified to be president. Oh, you know what's funny? Jen just sent me this. So we just got an email. From Joe Biden's campaign, because we're on the email list. On Tuesday, June 18th, so tomorrow, Joe Biden will attend Biden for President finance events in New York City, which will be pooled press. So now, bending over like a little puppy dog, saying, "How high can I jump?" That is called Joe Biden for President finance events. Ugh. So all of these people are, let's say it, Jen, I'm sorry, they're full of fucking shit. They're full of shit. And I know some of you don't like Elizabeth Warren. She's not my first choice. Jen's doing a story on, Elizabeth Warren kind of seems like she's hedging a little bit on Medicare for All. It was on her website at one point, Medicare for All. Now it's not on her website. Now she kind of talks about it in tweets, but she has a plan for everything. Well, where's your specific plan for Medicare for All? Because it's not on your website. You got a lot of plans, but Medicare for All is not on there. And she seems to be moonwalking a little bit as far as, is this her ironclad, no compromise, Medicare for All like Bernie Sanders? Or is that the ultimate goal? That's the ideal. So, but let's, everybody, don't be so extreme. She's not Kamala Harris. She's not Mayor Pete, and she's not Joe Biden. So I think some people are like, Bernie or nobody. Listen, I want it to be Bernie Sanders. But Elizabeth Warren is not Hillary Clinton. And I think some people make the mistake sometimes of, being a little too extreme. But Kamala Harris is different. And Joe Biden is different. And Mayor Pete is different. So, these people who are going out and giving speeches about the good old days of America before Trump, I mean, oh my God, they are fundraising this week. And I'm going to try to crash some of them. I don't know if I'll get in. I don't know if I'll get arrested. We'll see. I mean, look at this. Hold on. Hamilton E. James, the executive vice chairman of Blackstone and a top fundraiser, hosted Mr. Buttigieg at his home on Thursday. The same Blackstone whose CEO infamously said, despite this record, private equity types remain strong among our most arrogant and self-important plutocrats. Remember how back in 2010, Steven Schwartzman of the giant private equity firm Blackstone compared the Obama administration's efforts to raise taxes on such firms to when Hitler invaded Poland in 1939? Yeah, that Blackstone. Mayor Pete's hanging out with Blackstone. But the media, Mayor Pete, he has such good one-liners. And Jimmy Fallon's hanging out with Mayor Pete. Well, Mayor Pete is hanging out with Blackstone, one of the most corrupt and terrible financial firms in the world. The same Blackstone whose CEO blames income inequality. Oh, no, it's not inequality. It's income insufficiency, not equality, is to blame for the widening gap between the rich and poor, private equity titan Steve Schwartzman said on Thursday, becoming the latest billionaire to publicly worry about the issue. Oh, they're so worried. It's just like when Jamie Dimon comes out, I'm so worried about socialism. But I wasn't worried about socialism when I begged and begged and begged for a bailout. As Bernie Sanders says, they love corporate socialism. The CEO of Blackstone and former Trump advisor outlined what he called a Marshall Plan for the middle class on cable channel CNBC. Schwartzman's plan would eliminate taxes for teachers, introduce a higher minimum wage, and more technical training for people who don't go to college. Yes, because really what's causing the income inequality? It's those taxes on the teachers. It's those taxes on the teachers that are causing the income inequality. It's those taxes, it's not enough training. Because I've spoken with union members who were told you just got to get retrained for the jobs of today or the jobs of tomorrow. And they got retrained, but go figure, there are no jobs in those industries that they were told to retrain in. So I'm going to listen to Steve Schwartzman, the CEO of Blackstone, one of the most corrupt private equity companies on planet Earth, who, by the way, was investigated for financial dealings with Saudi Arabia, but of course nothing happened. Thank you, Maddie Perry, $1.99. Hey, Jordan, what's up with warmongering Elizabeth Warren? Hey, Maddie, chill out. I'm not saying I love Elizabeth Warren. There's things I don't like about Elizabeth Warren. But if you tell me, like today is voting day. I have Elizabeth Warren versus Donald Trump. I don't look at that as a Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump situation. I'm not going to lie to you. And I think people that say it's the same thing are lying to you or lying to themselves. We can't be so, so rigid. I could understand people don't want to vote for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or this idiot, Mayor Pete. But like Elizabeth Warren, on economics is fairly progressive. I don't like her on foreign policy. I don't like her missing in action on endorsing Bernie. She was MIA on Standing Rock, but let's not like. I don't want another 4 years of Donald Trump. And if I could get somebody who's progressive, if Bernie is not the nominee, and Warren is the choice, I would vote for her. I'm not going to tell my viewers who to vote for, but I personally would. That doesn't mean I'm not going to fight her like to the deaths if she starts moonwalking. Anyway, back to the corrupt. So this is what sickens me because, Mayor Pete, who, by the way, there was a whole scandal in South Bend. He fired the first black police commissioner there. The first black police commissioner there recorded audio that police were saying. Mayor Pete wouldn't allow the audio to be revealed. It was rumored that there was racial epithets said about the first black police commissioner. But now, all of a sudden, he's canceled his campaign events because a black man was shot and killed by the police, which I credit him. He went back to South Bend for this. He had to because he has a really, really, really bad numbers among black voters. But before that, he's doing fundraisers with Blackstone, who is the worst of the worst. Then you got Mr. Make America America Again, Joe Biden, who he's not even hiding it. He's not trying to get like small dollar donations. He's just trying to raise as much money as humanly possible from Wall Street scum. The same Joe Biden that says, it's not 500 billionaires destroying the country. Wall Street, they could have a positive influence on the country, Joe Biden said last week. Sounds a lot like Hillary Clinton saying behind closed doors, I think this is all just being politicized, your role in taking down the global financial system. I think you guys are just being persecuted. All these people lost their house. Like, why are you guys to blame? I think it's just a misunderstanding. But Joe Biden, the difference between Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden isn't trying to hide the fact that he's a servant to Wall Street. Like, those were private speeches, she said, and she did not want to release those transcripts. At least Joe Biden is allowing like some press members into these lavish fundraisers so that we could hear him figuratively do sexual favors for Wall Street. And remember, if you have not pressed the like button, I need you to press that like button right now. If you're watching on your phone, you need to get out of the live chat real quick. You'll see the thumbs up button. Smash that like button. The more people that press the like button, the more people that will see this live stream. So we got 160 people watching, but only 96 likes. So we got to get that like up to 160, lickety split. So, Joe Biden, Mr. Make America America Again, Mr., I'm hanging on for dear life to Barack Obama, and I'm just going to wrap my arms around former President Barack Obama and hope nobody looks at the crime bill and hope nobody looks at the racist shit I've said in the past. Joe Biden doing a fundraiser with infamous short-selling hedge fund manager James Chanos tonight. Mr. Chanos is holding an event for Mr. Biden. And Mr. Chanos, an infamous Wall Street scumbucket, Mr. Chanos is very tight with New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, that bastion of progressivism. Governor Andrew Cuomo and billionaire hedge fund manager Jim Chanos are slated to join 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful Joe Biden in a fundraising effort in New York next month. This article is talking about the event tonight. The main stop on the former vice president's trip will be at the Upper East Side of home of Chanos, a famed short seller, and it will be there where Cuomo will introduce Biden, CNBC reported. You want to know how much the home is worth? That Mr. Make America America Again? Want to know how much that home is worth? Take a guess. Just take a guess. I don't see anyone guessing. Oh, I just showed it. How much is his home worth that Joe Biden is going to be bending over backwards for Wall Street hedge funders tonight. All right. James Chanos listed Upper East Side penthouse for $34 million. Beesh. Talk about making America America again. Joe Biden is having the most patriotic fundraiser imaginable at a $34 million penthouse Upper East Side apartment. I mean, I can't think of anything more American than this. Anything more American. Ooh, I don't want to give the address. I mean, again, Joe Biden is not hiding the fact that he is transparently corrupt. He is a servant of Wall Street. When he was a Delaware senator, he was known as being paid off by the credit card companies. Thank you, George Piazza. Blackstone was Jeb Bush's biggest donor, and that's who Mayor Pete is doing fundraisers with. But you want to talk about electability? So let's just run Hillary Clinton with a penis if you're Joe Biden. Or, I mean, I don't know if Pete is necessarily the same as Hillary Clinton, but let's just run the same candidate who lost to an orange orangutan reality TV star, and we'll get different results this time. And I hope nobody finds it rude, but I haven't eaten much today, and I'm starting to eat blueberries more. I hear that you live longer, I hear that it's good vitamin C, and I hear that it helps your skin. So I'm eating blueberries. I hope nobody minds. So let's go to For the People Kamala Harris, too. Because obviously For the People Kamala Harris, she's not hanging out with these people, is she? Do you think For the People Kamala Harris is hanging with these scumbuckets? Thank you! Kelly Elaine, $20 in the GoFundMe. Jeffrey Baker, $5 in the GoFundMe, bringing us to 58,627. Like I said, we just booked our flights to Miami. They were expensive, but we will be down there in the debate. For the debate, hopefully we get credentialed. We're waiting to see if we got approved for credentials, which will allow us in the building. If not, we will storm the gates like Normandy. No, I kid. We'll make it work, even if we don't get credentialed. But if we don't get credentialed, obviously there's a reason the DNC doesn't exactly like status quo, because we report and expose what they're doing. So hopefully you could drop a couple bucks in the GoFundMe. This is a super chat also. We're not telling you what you're going to do. We're showing you what we're going to do. Do you see many independent outlets out in the field? Are you going to see many independent outlets at the debate? I don't think so. So GoFundMe and become a status quo member. Artificial Morphison, $2 in the super chat. The U.S. is very similar to Nazi Germany in 1937. I don't know if I would go that far. We don't have gas chambers yet, but it's definitely not a good situation. And some of the preceding steps to fascism are censorship, which we have a lot of that. And the merger of the corporate state with the government. We certainly have that. So not to be outdone by Joe Biden, by Mayor Pete. And tomorrow, Mark Lasry, the hedge fund manager and co-owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, the basketball team, is gathering checks for Miss Harris. Co-hosts of that event include Blair W. Efron, an investment bank co-founder and an influential Democratic financier, and Ray McGuire, vice chairman of Citigroup. Ugh. I can't. Jen, are you in the super chat? Does that scream For the People? Does that scream for the people to you? After taking, I think she took a handprint with the managing director of Citigroup's puppy in her penthouse in Fifth Avenue a few weeks ago. So Kamala Harris did a fundraiser atop the managing director of Citigroup's penthouse, and she either took a selfie or a paw print with her dog. I don't remember. So if she's for the people, she's definitely for the hedge funders. She's definitely for the Wall Streeters. She's definitely for the people that are basically stealing the money from you. So now she's doing another fundraiser with Citigroup? Gee, I wonder how much money. I wonder what Kamala Harris is going to do as president. I truly, truly wonder what she's going to do as president to regulate Wall Street. I truly, truly wonder how quickly is she going to enact Medicare for all, considering all of these banks that are giving her money are heavily invested in Big Pharma. She must be very brave. She must be telling those Wall Street bankers that she's doing fundraisers with this week, cut it out. I told you, cut it out. Borrowing from Hillary Clinton. But you don't hear any of this on CNN. The Washington Post, no, they can't be bothered. They can't do. They can't. They got 4 or 5 negative stories on Bernie to do a day. They cannot be bothered. And by the way, while all of this is going on, while this train wreck is going, where's my Joe Biden train? While this train wreck that's going to lead to 4 more years of Donald Trump is coming, here's reality, folks. Screen's about to go black because I got to add something in. Here is the reality. In just another poll that the corporate media is ignoring, here is the latest IPSOS, the Daily Beast /IPSOS. Here is Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Right there, Joe Biden is currently head-to-head beating Donald Trump 46% to 35%. Pretty good margin. Oh, wait, I thought Joe Biden was the most electable. Bernie Sanders, 47% to 35%. But I'm told Bernie Sanders has no chance. I'm told only Joe Biden is electable. Wait a minute. I thought you need to take Wall Street money to compete. I thought you need to bend over for Wall Street. I thought you need to bend over for fossil fuel companies. I thought you need to bend over for the financial industry. And these are the same numbers, by the way. These were the basically identical numbers for Bernie against Trump in 2016. Hillary was only beating Trump by 4 or 5 points in most polls. And the thing about these polls to watch, 2 things. Number 1, you wait. You wait until Donald Trump starts calling Joe Biden NAFTA Joe. You wait till Donald Trump starts calling Joe Biden NAFTA Joe, TPP Joe, and all of these things. You wait till his stock starts dropping quickly, particularly in the Midwest. Because Joe Biden is the same exact record as Hillary Clinton, only worse. His record is worse than Hillary Clinton. So as Joe Biden's numbers against Donald Trump go down, and they will, I also think they're going to go down because I think Joe Biden is not a good debater. I think Joe Biden is an arrogant son of a gun. And when he's challenged on things like the crime bill, when he's challenged on things like welfare reform, when he's challenged on the Iraq war, when he's challenged on the bankruptcy bill, when he's challenged on anything, his answers are occasionally very Trumpian because he can't admit when he's done wrong. But another element that's even more important to these polls, and I have Colin making a graphic of all the corporate media burying their heads in the sand. We'll have that for you tomorrow. Bernie is doing better against Donald Trump than Joe Biden is. And most of these polls undersample voters under the age of 50. Meaning, Bernie Sanders, head-to-head, is beating Donald Trump by 12 points. And these polls don't even have an equal distribution of voters under 50 to over 50, which means Bernie Sanders, no one can argue against this. Bernie Sanders is the general election nominee, the Democratic nominee, would bring out the biggest and probably highest voter turnout among young people, among millennials, age under 50, probably since maybe the 1970s. But let's bury our head in our sand. Let's bury our head in the sand. If you're the Washington Post, what did Jennifer Rubin write? She wrote, totally. Oh, wait, I actually tweeted about this earlier. Let me find it. Ugh, I can't stand Jennifer Rubin. I can't stand her. Where is this? Here we go. So Jennifer Rubin seems to look at these numbers. She writes about 3 or 4 negative stories about Bernie Sanders a week. Up. Former Vice President Joe Biden in one-on-one matchups with President Trump. Down. Trump polling against a whole bunch of Democratic nominees. Up. The debate lineup for the second night. Down. Avoiding the kiddie table. So how is it that Joe Biden is up in one-on-one matchups with President Trump, but when you have Bernie Sanders beating Trump in a wider margin in some polls than Joe Biden is I guess Bernie Sanders, instead of up, he's sideways? I mean, this isn't media bias, folks. These are media lies. The Washington Post is purposely lying to its audience to prop up Joe Biden. Thank you, Maddie Perry, $4.99 in the super chat. Warren signed for Trump's bill to increase the budget for the military-industrial complex. Couldn't agree with you more. Hey, I'm not a cheerleader for Elizabeth Warren. I was just saying, if it was Warren versus Trump, I don't personally view that as Hillary Clinton versus Trump. I would vote for Warren. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's fine. You don't have to do it. I'm not telling voters how to vote. And trust me, just because I would personally vote for Warren doesn't mean I would not cover her critically. I certainly would. I'm not like some outlets, not naming any names, that after Bernie was out, I suddenly tell you to hold your nose and vote. I'm not going to tell you to do anything. You vote for who you want. All I could do is tell you what I would do. I don't think Elizabeth Warren is Hillary Clinton. I think economically, she actually would be 100% better than Donald Trump. We would have to take her on, if she was president, on the foreign policy. We'd have to hold her feet to the fire and not just go to sleep like the progressives did under Obama on Medicare for all and everything else. But to make it seem like Elizabeth Warren is like a corporate Democrat, she's not. She's not taking Wall Street money as far as we could see. Jen is looking into it, but I haven't seen her taking any Wall Street money. I don't like that she said she would take it in the general election, but let's not worry about that right now. Let's worry about right now. So, the bottom line is, Bernard Sanders is doing as well against Donald Trump as Joe Biden. He's not doing as well against Donald Trump like suddenly today. These are consistent polls since 2016. It hasn't moved. He's been beating Donald Trump between 10 and 15 points for 3.5 years. Yet we're told he's not electable. It would be a landslide. So I kind of feel like there's some type of corporate media, shall I say, machine to stop Bernie Sanders. And I would like to see, frankly, Bernie Sanders' campaign come out a little bit more forceful against the media. I would like to see them call out the fact that the media is basically giving Joe Biden not equal, but they're giving him a lot of free airtime based on nothing. The media doesn't even report accurately that the polls are all inflated for Joe Biden because they're barely sampling they're barely polling anyone under the age of 50. Gee, Joe Biden's beating Bernie Sanders by 20 points when you're basically polling people that are on dialysis? Go figure. No offense to anyone on dialysis. Thank you, Wendy. Oh, Bernie Sanders, he didn't release his taxes within 5 minutes of announcing his candidacy. What's Bernie Sanders hiding? Joe Biden, take your time, sweetheart. Take your time, sweetheart. You can't make it up. So we'll have to monitor this. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a deeper dive when I have tomorrow to get you the information on just who these donors are that Kamala's taking money from, that Mayor, Mr. Clean, Mayor Pete is taking money from, that Joe Biden is taking money from, and I'm trying to find out where these fundraisers are being held. I'm not trying to get arrested, but I might go try to cause some trouble. Some journalistic trouble. Would you like to see me go to some of these fundraisers and cause some journalistic trouble? I know a good way for me to go to these fundraisers and cause some journalistic trouble if we had a legal fund to bail me out of jail. I know that if we had the membership revenue coming in to bail me out of jail, oh boy, there's a lot you could do with two legs, a monopod, and will. We're at 474 Status Quo members. We got to get to 500. So join us now. You could join Status Quo for as low as $5 to $10 a month. For those sitting on the fence, I don't know what you're doing. You get great bonus content. You get behind the scenes clips. You're going to get more content coming up soon now that the documentary is done. And you're supporting real independent in the field journalism, which brings me to our new reporter, Marcus Ely's latest reporting in the field. You're paying for this kind of content that no one else is covering. Here's Marcus with a striking McDonald's worker who's fighting for 15 in Nevada.
Marcus Ely here with Obadiah Harris, and you work at McDonald's?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I work at McDonald's, right behind this Dunkin' Donuts.
So you're with the Fight for 15. Can you tell me how many times you've got a raise in the last few years?
How many times I got a raise in the last years? None.
Okay. Now let's check your CEO's raises. He had $7 million when he first started 2015. Then the next year he made $15 million. Then the year after that, which was last year, he made $21 million. So you not getting any raises, but he getting $7 more million a year. Whereas the median McDonald's worker makes $7,000 a year. Well, no, that's actually in Poland. That's the actual number. $7,017 a year is what the median McDonald's worker makes. They're in Poland, and that person would have to work 3,101 years and 2.5 months to make as much as the CEO did last year. So how does that make you feel?
That's horrible. That's just basically saying that I don't care. That's what exactly. I don't care. I'm worried about myself, and I'm just gonna spend money frivolously just on myself because I can. When there's actually people that's out here starving with families. Mm-hmm. Why? Why so selfish? Yeah. Is it really that bad? Your life is that bad that you have to be that selfish? Now, I'm not saying that people need hands out, but we deserve to get paid for what we're worth. I deserve to get paid for what I'm worth. If I'm doing a whole crew job that needs to be ran by at least about 5 or 6 people, I deserve that. I'll stay for 15. That's fine, but I think I deserve 30 for doing all that because there's 3 different people. Add it up. That's just with $9. Mm-hmm. 3 people, $9. What? $28, $32. That's a lot, and I'm only getting what $9.25 that I had to basically find out and text my manager about. Why? Why are they getting more money than me? Why is this person being a manager after they got put on Facebook for fighting and they can hire and fire people? Why? And I'm sitting back here and you're yelling at me about some gloves. Some gloves. Like, do y'all look at I understand it's a restaurant, but it's not a 5-star restaurant. But like, do y'all look at let's see, I can't really use his name, but Bobby Flay or any of them, do you actually see them using gloves and stuff like that? They keep their hands clean. You're supposed to be clean, but they make it so difficult for us to do our job, and then we have our guests complaining about different things, and then they're complaining about this and that, and it's frustrating. And then you just want to pay us little. Why?
Well, here's the thing though, like, if your CEO, if he stopped working for a year, McDonald's would be fine. But if y'all stop working for a day, it's a wrap. No profits.
Wrap. Nothing at all. We stop working, everything gets shut down. They don't have no bill. They don't have no money. They can't pay their rent. They're going to lose their mansion. They're going to lose their Mercedes-Benz. Everything they work for gone. So therefore, we are the ones that should really get paid because we're supplying your lavish lifestyle. Can we have a half a lavish lifestyle? Can we at least afford our bills without having to say, oh, man, I'm short on the rent. Oh, can I go borrow this? Let me go borrow some money. Oh, now I'm late on that payment. I got to borrow some money to pay off this loan. Like, why do we have to get loans for loans to pay off loans and stuff that we owe? Well, we're doing all your work here for you.
McDonald's should expand into banking. You know what I mean? Get it covered at both ends, huh?
Yeah, both ends really should. It really should, most definitely.
Expand the healthcare too with the food that's hurting people.
It should be no reason for nobody should have no health care. Since we're the top of the world and the best country, why not? Because why? Money. Pharmaceuticals $1 billion industry, and they already hit Dr. Sebi. And then also Nipsey Hussle bring back Dr. Sebi. They create the problems. That's why they want the medical and all the industry. You got to be honest. Ain't no all that disease and stuff. It came out of a lab. You got to think about it. Because if we just got sick regularly, why I ain't sick right now?
I may disagree with you on that, but I understand the logic of questioning these things. But I do want to ask you if you could tell me a little bit about what it's like living on these wages, like what your financial, like what type of sacrifices you have to make and what decisions you have to make and decide, hey, I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do that.
It's like everybody else. You either going to have to lose a bill or you're going to have to say, well, I ain't going to pay that bill for right now just to keep a roof over your head. So basically it's taking one money from one bill and putting it on to the next until you be able to get some more money. That's what it basically is. Paycheck to paycheck. They actually call it bill check to bill check.
It's funny because like my assignment is to come out here and to ask folks, hey, can you tell us a little bit about what it's like, what the struggle is, working check to check? But at the same time, half the country can't afford a $400 emergency. Half.
That's a lot.
You know what I mean? Can't afford a $400 emergency.
You can't even afford the tires if the tires go out.
You know what
or
I mean?
A battery.
Yep.
That's sad.
Yeah.
But then you want all this extra money for all this stuff, but you give us nothing. So I think people just need to go on strike on everything for a whole year. What they gonna do? You can plant, you can grow seeds and eating fruits all day. You don't need to buy nothing from their stores. Then let's see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that actually, I'm with you on that. The only problem with that is who gonna feed all these people that can't afford a $400 emergency that's going on strike.
No. We don't need nothing from you. They had set up this, so we have to say, oh, I need you. Back in the day, we had to grow all the stuff. We had to raise our own cattle. We had to raise all that shit. They took all the labor works away and put up establishments like that so we can say, well, if I can't pay for this, what am I going to do? Man, who cares about your crime, bro? They're going to feel it more than you going to feel it because you know how to survive more than them. Rich people kill themselves every day, every single day because they lost money. We know the struggle, so we good. We survive. How you think the homeless survive? They ain't dying left and right. Do what you got to do. It's either going to be we do it in an orderly fashion or it's going to be hell for people. Which one do you want? Because you're leaning towards the hell. Yeah. And when it happens, that's when it just happens. And I'm not going to be sorry for anybody. You got to be sorry for yourself because y'all made these conditions.
You remind me, it's like the thing that I explain to folks all the time is you better take Bernie Sanders and be happy with Bernie Sanders because what's coming after him ain't gonna be nice. Bernie Sanders is FDR. FDR held back 2 communist parties and 1 socialist party that said, hi, rich people, the Great Depression happened. We have nothing, you have everything. You give us half or you have nothing. Like, we have nothing. And FDR was like, look, they not playing. And then after that came McCarthyism and got rid of socialism and got rid of communism. But the point is, it's getting to that point again where folks is like, give us something or y'all not gonna have nothing because we're gonna tear this up. I'm not kidding when I tell folks that. Like, I got partners right now that's like, you doing the journalism thing, you doing that advocate to get that story out there, man. Go ahead. Call me when it's time to start shooting. And I have a lot of friends that are like that. And that's what I tell folks all the time. Like, please work with the far left because they're trying to warn you now.
Yeah, we're trying to warn you now because just like my favorite villain from Batman, Joker, everything burns. So do you want to keep it or do you want it burned down? Because when it burned down, then you have nothing and we have to start anew. Fresh. Just like the rainforest when it got caught afire. Everything turns fresh when it burns. So what you going to do? It's in your hands. And we're more than the government and the police together, so I don't know why they're just playing games. So it is what it is. When it happens, it happens. Don't look for my help.
All right. Smash that like button, subscribe, become a member. That's how you get stories like this. That's how you get me sent to protests and rallies and to campaign, following Bernie Sanders on the campaign trail like I just was a couple weeks ago. Thank you guys so much. Share this video if you can't become a member. Subscribe. What is it? Smash the like button and become a member of our Patreon as well. Thank you so much. Catch you guys later.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on.
Marcus Ely here with Dylan Small, and you are the director for Las Vegas DSA.
I'm the chair for Las Vegas Democratic Socialists of America. We came out today to help support Fight for 15. Workers' rights and worker power is a thing that we care very much about. We're socialists, and we want workers to be controlling as much of the economy as possible, all of the economy preferably. So we're out here rallying with workers to help them get more rights, a union, and higher wages.
Definitely. So we heard Senator Kamala Harris today, and I tried my best to speak up. I talked to her people. I really tried to get a question in regards to her meeting with, or rather having a fundraiser at the CEO of Citigroup's penthouse in New York.
Okay.
And then turning around, coming here, a month later? Not even? She's here, standing with Las Vegas workers in a Fight for 15 in front of cameras, and she walks around, she shows up, and then leaves. But she's taking money from the people that are causing folks to be stuck in that $15 minimum wage. How do you feel about that, Des?
Well, in general, I'm not a big fan of politicians mingling with Wall Street. That's against what I stand for. I was glad to see Kamala here. We need politicians to be moving to the left, and if the Fight for 15 can push them in that direction, I'm for it. Not a big fan of the Wall Street thing, though. Let's just say that.
All right, definitely. Now tomorrow, you guys have a big Medicare for All rally going on in town here. Can you talk a little bit about what that's about, what the goal is, and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow on the 15th at 11 a.m., we're meeting in front of the Health Plan of Nevada building. We're having a rally for Medicare for All. Basically what that is healthcare for everyone. We believe that healthcare should be a human right, that no one should be denied healthcare because they don't have money, because they don't have insurance. We have the ability to pay for healthcare for everyone. And in a fair and just society, there is no reason that we should not have health care for all. So 11 a.m. tomorrow in front of the Health Plan of Nevada building, we're going to be having a rally with the Las Vegas Democratic Socialists of America. We're going to be writing letters, we're going to be having speakers, and we're going to be putting pressure on politicians to support Medicare for all. There's no reason why we don't have that in America today.
Definitely. Now, Kamala Harris was here, but Elizabeth Warren's campaign folks were also here. We've yet to hear full-throated, tried and true support for Medicare for all from her. What would that look like for you as a Democratic Socialist coming from Warren? What would you need to see to believe that she's really for Medicare for all?
Well, Warren, she does a good job every now and then with coming out with some good, firm policy proposals, but her proposals on Medicare for all are garbage right now in terms of the healthcare system. We don't need a market-based healthcare system. That's what got us into this problem in the first place. So I would call upon Elizabeth Warren to support Medicare for all, support a single-payer system. There's no compromise. Bernie's been able to say it. There's no reason Warren can't say it.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking some time with me. I got to get up out of here, though, guys. Smash that like button, subscribe, share. We really, really appreciate it. We need you guys to support us to be able to keep getting these stories out, because corporate media is not going to talk.
Marcus Ely for Status Coup. Great reporting. We got to do more of that. So we are now at, like I said, 474 members. And just so you know, membership is our main business model. So we have 474 Status Coup members right now. We also have 340 patrons. So when you put the website members together with the patrons, that's 800 814, I believe, 814 total members. So this is how we are going to grow our business. It's how we're going to grow in a way where we don't have to sell out. We don't have to take meetings with the usual corporate criminals. We're not looking for funding from the usual suspects. We're looking to grow a business funded through actual people. And there's a lot of outlets out there that, do fundraisers and have membership drives. And I don't really know what you get for the money you're paying. You get a lot of the same crap you get on CNN or MSNBC, but a little edgier. We're actually trying to show you something different. We're sending Marcus out. I'm going to be hitting the road again next week to cover the debate in Miami. And it's expensive. Right now, frankly, there's times when we're spending more than we're actually making. And a lot of that money is coming from my personal savings. But I believe in this. I believe in status quo. And if I am not going to put my money where my mouth is, I can't ask other people to. So I believe that it not only is possible to build from the ground up a business, an independent business, that model is from the viewer. I think it's important to do it that way, because if you don't, you're always going to be trying to take shortcuts and make little internal compromises where that person's not so bad to take money from. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. So I hope for those of you that are on the fence, our goal is to hit 500 members by the end of this month. So we got, about a week or two left to hit those 500 members. If you're already a member, thank you. If you're not, check it out. statusquo.com/join. Only $5 to $10 a month. Obviously, for those of you who are living paycheck to paycheck and can't even afford that, we totally get it. If you can't, if you can, I think real journalism is worth $5 or $10 a month. $179 annually. Doing it annually could save you some money. And you get great behind-the-scenes content as a member, too. Patrons get the same content as members. So, got to end it a little shorter today, because I'm going to Ron Placone and Graham Elwood's Progressive Comedy show tonight in New York City, which starts soon. So I'm going to go to that. I look forward to seeing those guys who do great work. Please become a member. If you're already a member, the GoFundMe is also a great way for us to grow, and we're showing you what we're going to spend the money with. We've been out to so many places thanks to the GoFundMe contributions, and it's going to help us go to Miami next week. It's also, frankly, at the moment, I'm just keeping it real, we don't have the money to keep Marcus past probably July. So we're trying to grow and grow quickly so we can keep Marcus. He's a new reporter. He's got tenacity. He's got a lot of hustle. He's got the brains for this. And he also, I think, has a little charisma, which I like too. So we're trying to keep him. But, this is a startup, and we're doing this from the ground up. So we need you on board. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Remember, go to statusquo.com. Enter your email. If you haven't, we got to grow our email list. Also remember, if you're a member, you could also buy membership for a friend. We don't have an easy button to press yet, but if you want to get a membership for a friend or a family member, just sign up like you would for yourself, and just put that person's email in. You could put your information other than the person's email and name. Obviously, put your credit card and all that. Your information will not be seen by that your financial information would not be seen by that person. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And also, if you have not, make sure to follow Status Quo on Twitter. We're growing there. We're growing everywhere. We just passed 43,000 subscribers on YouTube over the weekend, too. So, everything's just dandy. And, I know a lot of you have said, you're not happy that I said, if it was Warren versus Trump, I vote for her. We'll do more on Elizabeth Warren when there's time. I think some of you are getting a little too extreme. I love my audience, but you got to give your audience some tough love sometimes. I'm not going to tell my audience who to vote for. If you don't want to vote for Elizabeth Warren, if it was Elizabeth Warren versus Trump, go with God. I'm not going to, be like certain outlets who tried to force their voters to vote for someone they didn't like. I could just tell you, for me personally, Elizabeth Warren is not Donald Trump. Elizabeth Warren is not Hillary Clinton. She's not. She's economically not a servant to Wall Street. She's economically not a servant to every single special interest known to man. Her foreign policy record, she needs to be challenged, and we will. Thank you for watching. Remember, most people are not lacking compassion in this country. Most people have no fucking idea what in God's name is going on. Peace out.